Okay, I forgot to say it before. If you've got one of these, please either turn it off or put it on silent. Okay? Thanks. I had a PowerPoint that I tried to put on Keynote this morning, but for some reason I couldn't put it together. And I'll show it to you another time, but let me just read out what I wrote on that Keynote that didn't quite come out the way I wanted it to. It's my hope, it's my desire for Eikon and as an individual, but for Eikon in particular, that we would be a church, and this is what I would like us to be and to make disciples of Jesus Christ in authentic communitas for the good of the world. Okay, let me say it to you again. To be and to make disciples of Jesus Christ in authentic communitas for the good of the world. You know, you're wondering what communitas is, Lizzie? No, I didn't. Actually, I've come across it in a few books. One of the most recent ones was David Frost's Exile, but there was others before that. I'll tell you about it later. But it's not community, it's communitas, and we'll tell you more about what that means later. But this morning, I am not going to talk for as long as I did last week. The goal here is for you to get into a network group that will enable you to connect with Eikon and connect with individuals and to share your walk and to share your lessons and to learn some in the process. But I was reading through one of my journals recently, and I came across some questions and thoughts that I had written down before Eikon and in the early days of Eikon. Now remember, I wrote them for myself, but I thought I'd share them with you this morning. They're questions and thoughts about the kind of church that I wanted to be part of, or would like to be part of and have a hand in the building of. Okay? If you have pens and papers, you don't have to write this stuff down, but there is a question that I'd like you to write down later and take away for a conversation piece. I wrote this: I want to be part of a church that anticipates surprise, because it knows God is not finished with any one of us and with all of us. I want to be part of a church that knows how to move easily and freely from the essentials of theory to the experience of practice. A church that knows how to value individual parts while functioning as a whole system. I wrote that for myself, I know. A church that is not held captive to status and roles, but emphasizes the process of becoming. I want to be part of a church that values the knowledge of Christian doctrine, but prioritizes the learning experience of Christian discipleship. I want to be part of a church that encourages each individual's passion and initiative, but in the context of partnership with the church community. I want to be part of a church that has permeable membranes rather than solid walls, of flexible, adaptable scaffolding rather than rigid structures. Most of all, I want to be part of a church that is big enough to hold those who are curious about God and see possibilities in Jesus Christ. A church big enough to hold those whose ritual status is allegedly less than perfect because they have failed some test of acceptability because of their marital status or how their pain management goes on and what medication they use, or their simple refusal or inability to pretend that they know everything there is to know about God and that they believe everything they're being told about God and everything there is to know or what they've been told about the Bible. Their refusal to pretend that they possess a pristine faith in an exact knowledge of the truth. but who, despite their doubts and their baggage, nonetheless want to accompany me on the journey of seeking to follow in the footsteps of Jesus Christ.